Okay, let's do a quick video on. I've been itching to do this video for a long time, but have had this thought that I need to plan for it properly, do some notes, and come up with because there's a lot that goes into this video. But I just decided after a few weeks of not doing the video that you know what, I'm just going to do it with no planning, no notes, nothing, and let's just do this. And first of all, I want to introduce you guys to this amazing, amazing thing over here. Come here, you. Come here, you. Come on, come on, come on. Well, check out what this amazing thing is doing. Let's see. Look at, look at neighborhood cat, and such a beautiful, beautiful cat, and so cool. Has the coolest personality ever. Very chill. Doesn't meow much. Isn't very needy. Comes along, comes outside my door, and then wants to come inside for a little while, and then comes inside for a little while, and we hang out a little, and then when it's time for, I don't know if it's a him or a her, but like when it's time for, let's say, him to leave, he's cool, he just goes. And now he's chilling in my guitar case and cleaning himself up, or herself up, who knows. Alright, so while he or she is doing that, let's talk about how to attract the opposite sex. And basically, this is what we're talking about is how to be attractive in general, because being attractive in general um, is the core of attracting the opposite sex as well. So um, I'm going to break this down first for guys and for girls. So let's start off with how to attract the opposite sex if you're a guy. There's a whole bunch of things that, like I said, it's a deep topic, but I'm going to stick to what I think are the most important things to focus on when trying to be attractive or being attractive. Let's get the trying out of it. Being attractive is about being attracted to yourself first. Okay, and this is what the majority of people have difficulty with A, understanding, and B, putting it into practice. But understand that in order to be attractive to anyone else, you've got to be attractive to yourself first, because people are like sheep. And let's go more scientific and say there are these cells in your brain called mirror neurons. And mirror neurons basically, um, when you see someone, let's say, who's just hurt themselves or is crying or is laughing out loud, we have these cells in our brain called mirror neurons that will see what's going on and then mirror those emotions within ourselves, which is why sometimes if someone just starts laughing out loud, we'll want to mirror those emotions. Or if you see someone get cut and they kind of go like, like that, you will also have that a reaction. And it's due to our mirror neurons in our mind, in our brain. So when you find yourself attractive, there is some science involved with why others would find you attractive as well. And one piece of the science is, if you are interested in yourself and you love yourself, that's going to be clearly shown and felt by people around you. When people know that this person loves himself or this person loves herself, they're going to be drawn to you because there's going to be a lot of subconscious calculating going on in people's minds of, well, why does this person love themselves, and then they'll say there's got to be some reasons, there's got to be something attractive about this person, there's got to be some strength, there's got to be some substance here, that if this person is in love with themselves so much that, you know, it's possibly something that I will be attracted to. Or, okay, so I've made the example before about, street performers. No one watches them. People just walk by. But as soon as there's one person who stops and watches and gives attention, pays attention, then it then more people come, because when one person pays attention to a street performer, that person is giving power, giving attention to the street performer, so the street performer becomes more powerful. And so attention, remember, is always power. And when the street performer gets a little bit of power, more people come along and feed that performer with their attention as well. So you can make yourself more attractive to the opposite sex. First and foremost, most important thing of all is to give yourself attention, give yourself love, give yourself interest. Okay, and you might be thinking, well, I'm not interested in myself. I don't love myself. I don't find myself attractive, and I don't feel like giving myself attention. Well, those are all fair enough points. And to that, I will say that everything and anything is a habit, becomes a habit. So the reason you feel that way about yourself, if you do feel that way about yourself, is because of it's come about out of habit. Perhaps you've given all your love and attention every day to someone else. So out of habit, that person's gotten all your love and attention, and you've given it all away from yourself. Or it could be computer games, it could be alcohol, it could be sports, it could be an activity, it could be your job, it could be anything where you have just consistently for a period of time been giving away your power, your attention to something external, something outside of you, and you've lost the ability to do it for yourself. Which is why, whether you're in a breakup, whether you're experiencing a loss, whether everything is fine in your life, no matter where you are in life, it's always important to maintain this balance of power and to always have some reserved for yourself. No matter what, whether you're in an amazing relationship, you shouldn't be giving 100% of your attention to this other person. There has to be plenty reserved for yourself. You've got to have your own life, your own goals, your own journey. You've got to be doing your own thing. And in order to be able to do that successfully, there has to be enough interest, enough self-interest, enough self-attention, enough self-love for you to be able to do that. So that was the first and foremost most important thing about being, attracting the opposite sex, is to be attracted to yourself first. How does that actually manifest, or what does that mean if I'm out in public? It means not looking at every single girl that goes by, not looking at like even a super hot girl that comes into the coffee shop that I'm in or I'm driving past. It means putting blinders on and training yourself to be focused on yourself. Okay? And it's actually pretty amazing how just doing this one thing can have a huge influence on your ability to attract the opposite sex. Because when girls see a guy who's in his world, focusing on himself, doing his thing, they equate that to this person is disciplined, he's focused, he's passionate about what he's doing, he's on a mission, he's driven. Uh, so look, those are just a few things, but that's what most women, and not just women, most people find attractive. If you see someone who's on a mission doing this thing, go, oh yeah, yeah, going this, you're gonna be interested. You're gonna be like, whoa, what are you up to? You seem so passionate and interested in what you're doing, and that's totally natural, yeah. So I'm sure a lot of you out there can understand that. We've been there. We find that attractive. Whereas if someone is like needy and begging and like looking and staring and like, oh yeah, look at that hot girl. Oh, look at that hot girl. Look at that. You're basically telling, and women and men, old people, but women are very, very, they're masters of this because people are checking out girls all the time. Women are getting attention all the time. So they've learned to filter between the usual, normal, people just drooling and checking them out, and a legitimate interest that's worthy of their attention. Legitimate interest worthy of their attention, I have found, um, is usually when it happens naturally. When you see someone good looking, if I see a good looking girl and I naturally respond, there's going to be a smile, there's going to be an interest, not just in how this person is responding to me, which I think a lot of guys, when we're approaching girls or checking out girls, we are interested to know if they are interested in us. So we'll be looking at their face, their eyes, to see if they're checking us out. Where that's actually not important. What's important is what you are interested in. So if you see someone who's attractive, rather than wondering, oh, does she think I'm attractive, and try to figure that out, no, focus on you. If you find her attractive, then look. Looking is fine. It's natural, but it has to come from the heart. Yeah, you look, you check out. If you're interested, that's great, and acting upon your interest, there's nothing wrong with it. And this is going to lead me to my second point about attracting the opposite sex. Remember, women they're just like, they're just, we for guys, we put women in this category of like, they're super special. There's this thing that, if we're lucky someday, we'll be able to like, you know, we basically put them up on a pedestal, okay? I'm sure you've heard that expression before. And it's absolutely important that you crush this belief, okay? I don't mean it in a bad way where you will no longer respect women. No, respect everyone. Respect animals, people, respect all things. But what I mean is that treat women like they're just, human. Don't like build them up too much. Don't be too like careful or shy or timid around them. In fact, like what helped me tremendously in communicating with women and dating, you'll be surprised to know, is actually making fun of girls, busting their balls, so to speak. So like treating them like I know it'll sound crazy to you guys, but I'm just going to share what has worked for me. Like, I will call girls dude, man. I'll be like, what's up, man? And to like good looking, gorgeous girls, where I'll be like, dude, that's so messed up, Or I will make fun. I'll poke fun. I'll bust their balls. I'll be like, that is so, you don't want to be insulting. There's a difference, but you kind of want to treat them like they're your friends. Yeah? And girls love being friends with guys. They love it. Okay, so if you engage with them equally, they love it. Okay, because women, and quite rightly so, wish to be treated more equally. So if you treat them more equally, they will appreciate it. It has to be from the heart, okay? You can't be trying to fake this because it will be detected. You've got to really like level with them, and And don't be afraid to poke some fun. They'll appreciate it. Subconsciously, it's you're showing some confidence. You're showing some that you're feeling comfortable and relaxed, and you're creating a cool foundation, a cool canvas for friendly, fun communication to take place, and more honest, which is always helpful. Which leads me to another point. For guys trying to attract women, honesty is really great, and it's women appreciate honesty. I cannot begin to tell you how important honesty is for when you're trying to attract the opposite sex. You can even go as far as to admitting things that aren't attractive, but the fact that you will be able to admit comfortably, you know, things, being honest will truly win over women, because women, not just women again, this applies to everyone. We all appreciate and love honesty because you feel more comfortable with someone if you get the feeling that they're being honest. Even if they're being honest about things that are not things to be proud of. Like, if you say, oh, I'm a lazy person, or, oh, I don't really, um, like, I can't think of many things right now off the top of my head, but you don't want to like be honest about things like I don't brush my teeth, I don't wash my hair, I don't take showers. You don't want to do none of that kind of stuff. But being honest about, like let's say for example for me, like for a while I wasn't ready for a long relationship, but I was very honest with the girls that I was meeting and talking to. It's very straight up from the outset that hey, I'm not looking for a long relationship. I don't know. At the moment, all I'm interested in is, you know, communicating with the opposite sex, intimacy, um, just, having that, connection, with the opposite sex. And, if you express yourself, there's a lot of women who are after the same thing too. There's a lot of women who just want a physical relationship or the intimacy. Okay, but for men, big thing to realize about women is that women take more time to warm up to you. So if you're like, let's say, met someone on Tinder or online dating, or just out in the real world, talking to them, once you start communicating, whether it's like through texting or whatever, that's a huge step for a guy to understand that the girl is very interested. Because when girls aren't interested, they won't be texting, they won't be communicating with you, they won't waste their time. They will be focusing on things that are worth their time. I mean, like I said, this is a huge topic, and while I'm here, I want to also talk about, you've got to be aware. Men have to be aware a little bit with girls, because women are masters, whether they realize it or not, of using men. Okay, men use women in certain ways, and women use men in certain ways. We're both as guilty as charged as each other. And how it happens will be like I heard a really good, very true statement a few years ago, which is that men use love to get sex, and women use sex to get love. And what it means is, let's exchange the word love for attention, because I think it works perfectly. So men use attention to get sex. We'll give attention, which is power. Yeah, we'll give attention. We'll be texting them, chasing them up, what's going on. And women love that attention. They crave it. And when you've given a woman, or enough attention, it could be over a few days, it could be over just a day, but like the way that you're communicating and you know giving them that attention, that you know when women feel like they've gotten enough attention, in a way, enough of payment, then they'll give you what you've been after, yeah. And it's works the other way with women. Women will use sex because they know that that's what most guys are after, is to get that, to get physical intimacy, to get some sex. So women will. You have to be aware, if you're a guy, that you're not falling into this. And many women do this, where they will never. Uh, they won't even have it in their mind the intention to sleep with a guy, but they know that the guy wants that from them, and then they will use the guy's attention to energize them and power them up. They could invite you to, like, just, you know, usually, like, you can kind of tell if they'll invite you and they're with their friends. Okay, so they'll go out in a group and they'll say, "Hey, do you want to come out as well?" Like, I'm not saying that this is always the case. Like, there's nothing wrong with going out with girls if they're in a group with their friends or not. But just being aware that attention powers up and energizes, and all people crave attention and love attention, but women, they they love it too. They absolutely love it. So if you've got to be able to tell the difference, okay? Now I don't want to, like, sound too I don't know, like, there's nothing wrong with being friends, talking, communicating, spending time. But if your interest is, let's say, more intimacy, not so much something long term, you've got to express that. Be honest, and then, try to work from a place of being 100% straight up with each other. All right, now a few quick tips for guys before I move on to the girls is, it's going to be more rare that girls are going to approach guys, okay? And it could be possibly because of hundreds of thousands of years of genetic coding where men have to be more confident and go out and, attract, go and um, pursue women. Whereas women, traditionally over hundreds of thousands of years, are chased more. Okay? Now things are changing in our society, but there still remains that, you know, almost a mild expectation that it's the guy who should be going out and chasing and approaching girls. By the way, I think this is totally false now, and for women out there, please, if you find a guy attractive, give some signs, because we need signs. It takes a lot of courage to approach someone in public, you know, and I and it's true that courage is part of what is awesome about if a guy is able to overcome his fear and approach a girl or a female, and overcome the courage to take that leap, and that's extremely attractive to women. Like, if they encounter someone who does that. But we should make it easier for each other, especially if there is a mutual attraction. We should give each other signs. And one thing that I picked up along my journey over the years was, for a guy to actually wear something or to put something on that will be able to initiate conversation. So for a while, like, I was wearing this jade beaded necklace. I'll go get it real quick. Okay. But yeah, I wore this for a while, maybe a year, at least a year, and I still wear it occasionally. It, I originally started wearing it because I just love the material, and I love how it feels on me. It's heavy and cool, and it's jade, and jade has a lot of cool healing, stuff going on with it. But I didn't wear it originally to attract the opposite sex, but I found that walking around with this, you know, um, it opened a channel of communication for the opposite sex. So girls would, like, comment on it or ask me what it is or what material it is or where I got it from. And the thing is that when we go out in public, of course, there's a lot of attraction going on. Like there's, people that are going to be attracted to you and you're going to be attracted to other people. But it's difficult, isn't it, when we're out in public in the grocery store, if you're at Trader Joe's or Sainsbury's or at a bookstore, it's hard, isn't it, to like spark up a conversation because you don't know if this person is single, is this person even looking for, and so there's a lot that goes into it. But when you are able to make it easier, to spark a conversation, then, you're going to help improve your chances. So it doesn't have to be this. It can be anything. It can be a hat, it can be a scarf, it can be a cool pair of shoes, it can be anything, a pair of shades. And this works for girls as well. What you're doing is you're just creating a little spark, some tinder for you guys to make it easier for conversation to begin. So if I see a girl that's got a cool dress on or something interesting, it'll be a cool excuse. You can say, hey, that's really cool. Um, where did you get it from? Or, you know what I mean? And it just helps. So that's one tip I recommend is, even if it's a bracelet or a watch or, can be anything. So now this video is getting pretty long, so let's dive into women. And the reason I left women for the end is because I believe it's much easier for women to attract the opposite sex. But it's harder for women to choose someone genuine and good. Okay, so that's, I think, where the difficulty for girls is. Not so much attracting, but perhaps who they're attracting and whether that person is someone that they want. The thing is, like, there's a lot of guys out there, and girls, but a lot of guys who will, in order to attract a woman, they'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll say a lot of bullshit, and it can become confusing over the years for women to like know who's being real, who's being straight up. The first thing I'm going to say for women trying to attract guys is um, don't be too closed, okay? Because yes, I understand that many of you are being, have to deal with guys checking you out and being attracted to you every day of the year, especially if you're more attractive. But don't let that turn you into a bitch. Don't let that make you too closed. I believe kindness is the ultimate sign of strength. And the more of a bitch or dick, if you're a guy, you are, it's a sign of weakness. So being kind is always important, and being open, especially when you feel like you're around people that you are attracted to, or if there's someone you're attracted to, being open, making some eye contact. Because yes, we're still evolving as a society, and yes, it's still sort of the guy's role to, you know, pursue and initiate the contact. I don't think it has to be this way. I think it's awesome when women approach guys and take that initiative. I think it's just so amazing, so attractive, and so awesome. But until we get to that point, for a girl who's interested in a guy or finds a guy attractive, make some signs. Be a little open. So show like some clear eye contact. It might be that you'll have to establish eye contact more than once because guys can be really stupid or guys can just not be sure. We need clear signs. I'm not saying that you gotta like, expose yourself, but just make it more clear, or initiating a little bit of a conversation with a guy. Or, you know what? You don't even have to initiate conversation, but move into a position where you're making it easier for the guy to initiate conversation. So let's say if you're at one end of the room and the guy is at the other end of the room, come in closer or come in towards, that's a sign of interest, and you're making it easier for the guy to initiate conversation. I experience this a lot where I can see there are some there are clever girls who will do this where girls will be more attracted to a guy. They will naturally do this. They will put themselves closer in a place where you might be able to spark conversation more. So for women, putting yourself, opening up a little bit more, making, giving clearer signs, putting yourself in the position where it's easier for the guy to initiate conversation. Um, and I mean, if I was a girl, depending on what I'm looking for, let's say if I'm looking for a great long-term relationship, which I think most people are looking for, um, I would spend time. I wouldn't be jumping in bed quick. Definitely not. If I was a girl and I was looking for someone special, I would not be um, jumping into bed too quick. I would spend some time, try and learn more about this person, find out about his friends, find out about his work, get more of an idea of what his personality is like. And look, sex is very important, and absolutely, I believe that you've got to sleep with each other and be intimate with each other to figure out if you are, right for each other. I don't believe that it should be just all personality based and then, okay, yes, this is the one for me, and then you're intimate and you have sex. And, no, the sex is a very big, in my opinion, important part of a relationship. So look, bad news it could be, or it could be good news. However you want to take it, but like you can't just be withholding, or prolonging the sex. That's an important part. Deal with it with respect and with value. It's a powerful, incredible, awesome uh, thing to do. Act. And yes, guys are probably going to be chasing and craving it more, but there's plenty of women who love good sex, and um, but it should be, I believe, a part of the assessment of two people, because from sex you're going to learn more about the other person, how they are, what they're like when they're intimate, how open they are, how creative they are, how physically fit they are, how you're going to be closer to someone, so their hygiene there. It's so important. Okay, so my message to any girls out there is like, don't feel like guys who are interested in sex are bad. Like, there's nothing wrong with sex. Sex is good, and it's an important verification or additional assessment that we both need to do on each other. You can tell a lot about someone's personality from the way that they like to have sex too. So, girls, you're going to find out more about your man by having sex, and guys are also going to, like, after they have sex, they're going to be like, oh, is this someone I want to continue to be intimate with? Okay, so let's not break this down into bad and good, and let's just realize the way things are and try to focus on. So I'm going to wrap it up for women and for men. So let's focus on honesty, on leveling the playing field, not really seeing each other, putting each other on pedestals, and just being cool, like being human with each other. And it's okay to bust each other's balls, and okay, being open, not being too closed. So being open and presenting like certain interesting things that will enable conversation to be sparked more easily, putting yourself in positions where you'll be meeting people that you feel work with you, click with you more. And if you're out and about and you see someone attractive, not keeping your distance, because nothing's going to happen if you do, but moving closer. And finally, for guys, don't push too much, um, and keep your distance. You want to allow women to kind of come closer. They really are like I find like it's like very similar to cats, although not this cat. This cat's being super lazy and sleepy and blocking out the sun so it can sleep. Yeah, I think I just stopped the recording by accident, so hopefully I won't be recording over the previous one. But yeah, so allowing girls to come towards you. So don't push too much, don't be too desperate. Loving yourself is going to address that, which is what I talked about at the beginning. Loving yourself, being interested in yourself, will create enough space and time for girls to be come closer to you. But the space and time and loving yourself has to happen after you've initially created some attraction. So to create that initial attraction, you gotta make it clear how you feel to the opposite sex. So if you're a guy, you gotta make it clear. You don't have to say I want to marry you, but make it clear enough that you're attracted to them. And once you've made it clear, now's the time to focus on yourself and let them show interest. If they're interested, relationship has to be two ways. I'm going to wrap this video up by saying this. Women and men, look, especially women, realize this. Relationship has to work two ways. So if a guy's chasing, can't just be him chasing constantly. You've got to show some interest as well. So there has to be mutual attraction. And for me, if I'm pursuing someone I find attractive, I'm not going to like keep pursuing until the end of time. No, I don't believe in that. I believe that there has to be mutual attraction. So I'll pursue and make it clear that I'm interested. Then I'll focus on my life, my goals, and allow space and time for this person to reciprocate. And if there is a reciprocation, then you can both confidently start moving closer to each other. Peace and love and good luck. And I'll probably make another video on this because it's so deep. But hopefully there's something in there that helps. Adios for now.